anomaly, and I'd choose you in 100 lifetimes. I'd choose you in 100 worlds. I'd find you, and I'd say I do for the rest of my life. With all that I have, I do, and I will. When the sky is falling, I promise you I'm all in, no turning back. And every day, every moment, every breath you take, I choose you. This is more than just a wedding. This is etched into eternity. With our union, we will move mountains. We will live on our knees, 'cause he'd choose us in 100 lifetimes. He'd choose us in 100 worlds. He'd find us, and we'd say we do for the rest of our lives. With all that we have, we do, and we will. When the sky turns black and he comes back, riding on the clouds, every day and every moment, every breath we take, we choose you. Look into my eyes, dear. Look into my eyes, dear. 'Cause this is where it starts. Yes, this is where it starts. I'll give you my whole heart for my whole life. I'll give you my whole heart for my whole life. And this is where it starts. And I'll say I do for the rest of my life. With all that I have, I do, and I will. When the sky is falling, I promise you I'm all in, no turning back. And every day, every moment, and every breath you take, I choose you.
We are here today to witness the marriage of Lloyd Everett and Samantha Carr. Two souls, two lives, and two families that are about to become one in marriage. With love and commitment, Lloyd and Samantha have decided to live their lives together as husband and wife. And they have chosen you, those special and important to them, to celebrate the beginning of their life together. Today, as we create this marriage, we also create a new bond and new sense of family, one that, no doubt, will include all who are present here today. A happy marriage is not only marrying the correct partner, it is more about being the right partner. May you succeed in all important ways with each other and not fail in the little graces. Samantha's brother, Daniel, will be reading a little speech. If you can, please.
This is a poem from a brother to a sister, an unbreakable bond, now including a sister. Sammy, you have always been my best friend, and I know this marriage is one that will never end. I'm so happy you found each other, and in Lloyd I've gained a brother. As we've grown up, we've been through some tough times, and as the bridal squad knows, I'm not so great with rhymes. But all I know is you are both truly in love, and always put everyone else above. I always knew that Sammy, my baby sister, would meet someone special who just can't resist her. But when Sam introduced you to Lloyd, I knew you'd found someone to fill the void. As soon as Lloyd started coming around, I knew you were making a turnaround. All I want is for someone to love and protect you, and in Lloyd you found someone that will never reject you. So here is a cheers to the new husband and wife. Everyone raise your glasses. Here's to your new life.
He always leaves a seat up and wet towels on the floor. The toothpaste never has a lid on and he never shuts the door. She's thoughtful when she looks at her. She's thoughtful when he looks at her, a smile upon his face. Will he look that good in 50 years when his dentures aren't in place? He romances her and dines her at home-cooked dinners and the like. He even knows her favourite food, he spoils her day and night. She loves his kindness and his patience is a must. And of course she thinks he's handsome, which in her eyes is a must. They're both not wholly perfect, but who are we to judge? He can be big-headed, whereas she won't even budge. All that said and done, they love the time they spend together, and I hope, I'm sure as you do, this fine day will last forever.
Lloyd, Samantha, today you choose each other before your family and friends to begin your life together. So please join your hands and face each other, because by the exchanging of these votes to each other, I ask you now that you pledge your lives to one another.
I, Lloyd Everett, accept you, Samantha, as my wife. I promise to care for you, to honour you, and pressure you, in sorrow and in happiness, in good times and bad, for as long as I shall live.
I, Samantha Carr, accept you, Lloyd, as my husband. Promise to care for you, to honour you and treasure you, in sorrow and in happiness, in good times and bad, for as long as I shall live.
With this ring, I, Lloyd Everett, marry you, Samantha, and bind my life to yours. It is a symbol of my eternal love, and my commitment to you,
my everlasting
my everlasting friendship,
friendship,
and the promise and all my future with you.
I, Samantha Carr, marrying Lloyd, and bind my life to yours. This is a symbol of my eternal love and my commitment to you. My everlasting friendship and the promise of all my future with you.
I'll be there when you need me. Trust, it builds
And now,
a home.
when it's 15 minutes after 4 in the afternoon of the 2nd of October 2019, I do pronounce you husband and wife. Take it. May your bond of love be as difficult to break as it will be to put back together all the pieces of this glass. Muscle top with luck. Now, Lloyd, you make this your bride again.
I'll be there when you need me. You can count on it every time. It won't always be easy, but just as sure as the sun will rise, I'll be there when you need me. With every tear that falls from your eyes, oh, you have me completely. I'll be there when you need me. I'll be there when you need me. You can count on it every time. It won't always be easy. I'll be there when you need me.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, bride and groom. My name's Tony Carr, and I'm the father of the bride. I am the daddy. Who's the daddy? Oh, that's clear then. So my duty today is to toast the bride and groom. I'm the warm-up act before the main speeches, Lloyd and his best man, Ryan. So I feel a little bit responsible, Sammy, for all this that's going on today, because do you remember in 2002 we had our one and only trip together, just the two of us. We came to this coast and we fell in love with this coast, and we were looking for an apartment at the time. You were just 12 and the hormones hadn't kicked in at that point, so we had a lovely time. Sorry, Al. And we were looking for an apartment, which we bought in 2005. Since then, Sammy's fell even more in love with this coast and has been over a few times with some girlfriends, like the one you came over where it unfortunately coincided with the film with Liam Neeson, Taken. Have anybody ever seen that film? Where he had to go and rescue his daughter who'd been captured and captured by and put somewhere with some sex slaves. So I don't know, but I got very worried about it. But I was horrified at the thought of you coming over and having to rescue you. And there were other worrying moments, but I won't go into those, Sammy. Sammy, I'm extremely proud of the woman that you have turned out to be. But to me, you'll always be my little girl. Sammy came into the world on the 26th of November 1989. in the middle of the night, quietly, in a little village, Catford in Fylde. A home birth, Christine. A home birth. But the thought of a home birth was petrifying to me, and so I quickly went out and bought childbirth for dummies and got all my equipment ready. Do you remember? Yeah. Do you remember the barbecue equipment and the forks and the butcher's apron and all that stuff? But fortunately, I didn't need it because everything went very, very smoothly, and little Sammy was born quietly, with hardly a whisper. Daniel was 9 at the time, and all went very well, didn't it? He was asleep through the whole thing, but he came rushing out and gave me a rollicking, which he does on a regular basis. It was all over in a flash, and Sammy went back to sleep, can you believe, within the hour, which was a sign of things to come. Sammy, I'm very, very proud of you. I'm proud of your work ethic, on the success you've made of your business. And I'm proud of you, Lloyd, or Vladimir, as I like to call him. I won't go into why I call him Vladimir. You also have a wonderful work ethic, and I'm sure you'll look after my little girl, Lloyd. Look at me when I say this. So, a little bit of parting wisdom from me before you come to your speech, Lloyd. And this is, do as I say, not as I do. Having a great marriage is about teamwork. It's about the creation of a lasting partnership that will be strong enough to go through the good times and not so good times together with an unbreakable bond. And I'm sure you've both got that unbreakable bond. It was referred to in the celebration before. So, just parting thoughts here. Today, actually, is the first day of the Jewish New Year. And it's the year 5780, if you wanted to know. Are you all very enthralled with that? Yes, yes. So, that's a year. The Jewish New Year is about starting something fresh and about looking forward, not backwards. The Jewish New Year surrounds the harvest and the end of the growing season and the beginning of a new one. So this is the beginning of your life together. So I'd like you all to charge your glasses and to join me to celebrate and wish Sammy and Vladimir, Lloyd, a happy and healthy life together, and mazel tov to you both. Mazel tov. Mazel tov.
Okay, I'd firstly like to start by making a toast to the whole reason why we're here today. And I think you'll all agree she is by far the most stunning bride you will ever see. My new wives. So top them glasses up for the new Mrs. E, Mrs. Sammy E. Everett. Wait, you're going to have to top it up again. Secondly, Sammy and I would personally like to thank every single one of you for making this trip out here and making our day truly special. It's hard to explain how much this really does mean to us, but as a small token of our gratitude, we have put a free bar on until 11 tonight. So please show these Spanish how we party and drink it fucking dry. I ask you to stand up again, and with much love to you all, I thank you all for coming out here. Thank you very much. Stand. Here. No, you can sit down now. A few special thanks need to go to our family. Mums and dads and grandparents who have helped greatly. You've raised us to be the people we are today, and today wouldn't be the same without your help and guidance. I'd like to say a special thank you to a big shout to Sammy's grandma, who's 95 and made the long trip out here. She deserves a big round of applause. Next, I'd like to thank Neil. He's been a great addition to the family. He's helped greatly to make this day special, and I thank you a lot, mate. It means a lot. To all the bridesmaids, you look amazing. I thank you for making it so special for her and myself. Another special thank you needs to go to Charlie Ann. How are you? She's come all the way from Australia, so again, a big round of applause, please. Go on, girl. A massive thank you to all the groomsmen who've helped keep the show on the road. Thank you very much, boys. And finally, a big thank you to all our friends who have done our hair, Sammy's makeup. Thank you all. It means a lot to us. Thank you. So not many of you know how me and Sammy first met and how we got to where we are today. Snapchat. Yeah, we can thank them 10-second videos for this one. A lot of you may know. A lot of you may know Sammy can dance. She shakes them hips like Shakira, and she had me that day on the dance floor. As I was admiring her, videoing her, and putting on my story, I awoke the next day to a private message of her calling me a perv. With a laughing face, I knew I was in. Even though Sammy and I weren't on each other's Snapchat accounts, Sam Giffin was, so big shout out to the Giff. Where are you, lad? You got to take it. Well done, lad. After living with each other for 3 months of dating, and now 5 years down the line, I cannot ask for a better partner. She's a rarity in this world. She's not only the most beautiful girl I've ever seen, but the most beautiful girl inside as well. We've come a long way since that Snapchat. A house, now marriage, 2 adopted dogs, and hopefully in the very near future, kids of our own. I feel honoured to stand here today and call you my wife and to be your husband. I want all your family to know, and you to know, I'll always be there for you, love you, and never let you down until we're grey and old. Sammy has dedicated the last 2 years to make our dream wedding, and she's certainly succeeded. I love you, Sammy Everett, and I always will. Here we go, here's the big one. So, as tradition goes, when you get married, you have to pick a best man. And there's been one guy that's hung like a church mouse that's been there since day back. Until I met Sammy, Ryan and I used to get invites together, and that's no shit. Luckily, that's stopped now. As a best man's role, you have to organise a stag do, get the rings on time, and do a good speech. You fucked up the stag do. The coach never arrived. A monkey could get the rings to me on time. So fucking hell, lad, pull it together. You've got a speech to do here. So without further ado, I think many of you are looking forward to this. If you haven't already, please get your phones out, press record, and direct them straight over to this stuttering little mess to my right. Ladies and gentlemen, my best man, Mr. Ryan Arton.
Thank you. I thought you were going to cry. The wise call. Anyway, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What time is it? First, I want to thank everyone who made the trip over to Marbella for mine, Lloyd, and Sammy's big day. It took us a few hours to get Lloyd's makeup on point, but he's finally here, sweating his head off and wifed off. Anyway, I'd like to introduce myself, because some of you might not know me, but I am Ryan, Lloyd's mentor or boss, as I'd like to be known, but probably known by the end of the night as a wobbling, drunken mess. But anyway, I've been given the job that I didn't want, and no one else wanted, and that's to be this fake Cockney gangster's best man. We all call him fake Cockney gangster because anywhere past the M55, his accent changes. And then probably tonight, once he's had a few beers, he'll start becoming a Cockney gangster, and he thinks he's from East Ham. He's not. He's from Blackpool. I'd also like to mention that the groomsmen look fantastic because Mr. Marbella made us all buy our own suits. And this is the kind of guy he really is. Here we go. Jesus. Prior to this best man speech, he rang me up saying, "Oh, please don't put me in a bad light in front of Tony." I don't know why, Tony, because he's absolutely terrified. I don't know why. So I thought about it for about a good long 10 seconds, and I can't. The man's an absolute disgrace. And if I was you, I'd have told your daughter to have left him a few years back.
My name's Steve. I'm the groom's father. I played a very small part in him being here today about 20 odd years ago. Very small part. But he's here. You know how it goes, surely. You look old enough to have done it at least once or twice, surely. So I'm very, very proud of him, and especially of Sammy. I think they complement each other, and they both make each other a better person. So that's all I've got to say. Well done, Sammy. Well done, Lloyd. Thank you very much for inviting me. It was lovely. All the very best.